Hey,
Good again.
it's an exciting day here at Music for Busy People.
It is. It's always an exciting day, but some more so than others because today is...
Well, first I wanted to say
Oh, fine. Don't roll with my punches.
we're doing a different band.
Yay, thank you. I just got the news of this, so I'm equal parts and excited.
She's Dev, I'm Mike. Zeppelin fans, do not worry. We are going to complete the Zeppathon. For the good of the channel, I think we need to start sprinkling in other bands here and there. So we're just going to do this one album and then get back on our Zeppathon. So we're doing Rush. And we're doing 1981's Moving Pictures. Very excited by this. Some of our patrons said they'd like to see us do some Rush, so that's why we've chosen to do Rush for this particular outing.
And I know nothing about them.
And that's always good.
That is good.
Here's the thing, I don't know much about them either.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh.
I have never heard a Rush album from start to finish.
Okay.
I don't know any of their songs that weren't on the radio. We want to experience what it was like when the album first came out. So we don't look at lyrics unless the album provided lyrics. We look at the cover art, but we don't really watch videos or anything like that unless they were out when the album was out. So since you don't know anything about Rush, they're Canadian.
Okay.
I think they're considered a progressive rock band.
Oh.
I don't think they started out as a progressive rock band. I think they were more of a blues-based band, but they evolved into more of a progressive rock band. They started in the mid-'70s. They got big towards the end of the 70s, early 80s. That's when they were their biggest, I think. The members are Geddy Lee. He's the lead vocalist, and he plays the bass and the keyboards.
Okay.
Alex Lifeson's on guitar, and Neil Peart is the drummer. Neil Peart is considered one of the best rock drummers of all time.
Oh, awesome. That must make your heart sing.
He's a very technical drummer. He's a very talented drummer. I'm sure he was influenced by Keith Moon because he has a lot going on like Keith Moon did. I'm sure he's definitely evolved beyond that. He has his own techniques and things that he deserves credit for sure. One interesting thing is he is the lyricist. He writes almost all the lyrics to their songs, the drummer. But he doesn't write any of the music. Or maybe he does some, but most of the music's written by Geddy and Alex. They're the bass player and the guitar player. And most of the lyrics are written by Neil Peart. So isn't that interesting?
Sure.
I think it's interesting. They started in 1974. I don't think Neil Peart was on their first album.
Is this a very well-known album, Moving Pictures?
Yes. Good question.
Great minds.
This is their biggest album, I believe. This is their 8th album. They made like almost 20 albums. So they have a lot of albums. It's considered one of the greatest progressive rock albums of all time. There's definitely a few songs that I've heard off of this album, but that's it. Just the 3 biggies. You know, I don't know the rest of them at all. Let's look at the album art because we always do that.
I like it.
This is the cover. Okay, literally they are moving pictures. I see the dogs playing poker there. I believe that building is in Toronto. It's like a legislative building.
And they're putting some interesting artwork.
They're moving it in and the people look upset.
They do.
So I'm sure that means something. I don't know what. Here's the back.
Oh, that's fun.
This is them taking the album cover. That's cute. The lyrics are included on this album, so we'll be watching the lyrics when we listen. There actually is a music video for the song we're doing today. Today we're doing Tom Sawyer, which is the first song on the album. I put Geddy Lee with Bob Dylan. I respect him. He's a great musician. I understand why people like him. It just stopped my taste in voices. And I think his voice is kind of polarizing. I think a lot of people really don't like his voice, and a lot of people really like his voice. So it'd be interesting to hear what you think of his voice. I think in the 70s, most of their lyrics were like sci-fi and fantasy type lyrics. But I think around now, you'll start hearing more songs about social issues and more relevant topics. Well,
sorry.
We also occasionally throw in live performances. I'm not sure we're going to do that with Rush. We'll see.
We better.
Now, Led Zeppelin, when they play live, it almost always sounds different than the album. But Rush was known for trying to accurately reproduce the album sound in their concerts. So when you hear them playing in concert, it's like listening to the album. You really can't hear a difference. I'm not sure for our purposes it works. I mean, it's fun to see them playing, but if the live version is pretty much the studio version, then there's nothing to compare. So the first song we're going to listen to is their biggest song.
Do I get lyrics?
You get lyrics. It's called Tom Sawyer. I don't have much to say about it except that it was a huge song in the 80s. Most people know this song. We're going to watch a video with it. It's one of those early 80s videos, so it's nothing to get right home about, but it'll be fun. It's fun watching those along with it just to see what they were doing back then. One thing you'll hear with progressive rock bands a lot are weird time signatures sometimes. I'm not going to get all into it that much, but I'll probably point it out during the song. Tom Sawyer, first song on Moving Pictures. Is that Canada?
Whoa.
A Monday warrior, mean stride. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride.
That's a drum set.
What a setup.
Though his mind is not for him, don't put him down as arrogant. His reserve a quiet defense, writing out the day's events. The river.
I like his voice. It's really smooth.
What do you say about his company is what you say about society. Catch the mist, catch the myth, catch the mystery, catch the drift. The world is love and life are deep. Maybe as his skies are wide. The days Tom Sawyer, he gets
But
high
that's-
on you, and the space he invades, he gets by on you.
7/8 here.
These are like clones. There's clones in this room. Nice.
No, his mind is not for rent to any god or government. Always hope for your discontent. Those changes aren't permanent. But changes.
There's like 3 of them in this video. 3 doppelgangers.
Okay, it is the same guy.
Yeah, it's his doppelganger.
And what you say about his company is what you say about society. Catch the witness, catch the wit, catch the spirit, catch the spit. The world is love and life are deep. Maybe as his eyes are
I rather enjoyed that.
That's a great song. You can't deny that's not a great song. Technically amazing.
So much happening in there, and in their own unique voice and style, which is appreciative in this day and age.
A lot of changes. Like I said, more of a complicated composition. Like that song goes into 7/8. I think there's even a 3/8 there in the middle somewhere.
Dare I ask
But it's just
if
a
the drummer
classification.
is okay?
He had a long and prosperous career. You noticed his drum set though, right? He was known for having a very elaborate drum set.
Oh yeah, it was all sorts.
And that was 81. I think as they kept going through the 80s and 90s, I think he kept getting bigger and bigger. He was always trying to evolve as a drummer. He just keeps adding to his arsenal, and that's why his drum solos are more interesting than the average drum solo in a concert.
They're meticulous.
Meticulous, that's a good way to put it. You know they rehearse a lot. Were you getting anything from the lyrics?
Dude is obviously deep, maybe stoned.
This song may have been based on a poem by somebody else, so I'm not sure this is a good example of his pure lyrics.
It made sense, though, as the character from Mark Twain's novel transcribed into a song, though. Like a modern version of that person makes sense to me. Like who he would be in today, that you can't manipulate his mind. It's not for sale, but that doesn't mean he's arrogant necessarily.
Well, if Tom Sawyer were alive today and real, that was that
He's
interpretation.
An amalgamation. Come on.
It's time for the surprise part that Mike always does. Not always, but
Surprise. Which I never know anything about until he does it.
so normally if I pick a cover song, I just pick one, and we don't usually listen to the whole thing. I had trouble picking, so I have two. This first one's from 2005. It's by Mindless Self Indulgence.
They like video games.
Well, they picked up the tempo a bit. This just sounds like you're playing on fast forward.
I feel like it should be in an arcade. I like the yelling.
Oh, I like just the cut to nothing. I ain't got time for the whole song, so just play it fast.
Yeah, okay.
It's fun. Oh, they're choosing to play it in 4/4 though.
It's like they consulted Jim Henson. Put the Muppets in a blender.
They put the extra beat back in there.
That's fun. All right.
Whew!
I don't know.
I like the silence part.
No, it's fun.
When they just stop for like half a second, just nothing. And then, yeah.
But you won't wait that long.
My nerd self found one thing interesting in there. So when it got to the 7/8 section, they didn't go into 7/8. They just kept it at 4/4. So that was interesting. They put the extra beat back in there.
I liked how fast it was. I
Yeah.
was really anticipating something that was kind of slow and grindy, but that was not it.
If you're going to do a cover, make it your own.
Yeah.
Don't just imitate the other band. Who
Yeah.
wants to hear that?
They didn't half-ass any of that. They went full hog.
Okay, the other cover I have, a totally different genre. I believe this group is considered, I think I saw next to their name, Gypsy Jazz, so I have no idea what that is. But it sounds interesting. They're called The Lost Fingers, and this is from 2010.
Like with the machete?
They lost their fingers? No, I don't know.
I don't know. It's like, where do all the lost fingers go?
It's gypsy music, theoretically, so I want to hear what that sounds like.
Modern day warrior, mean strike. Today's thumb sire, mean pride.
What?
I'm not getting gypsy at all.
Though his mind is not for rent, don't put him down as arrogant. His reserve a quiet defense, riding out of the day's events. The river
Yeah, for this style of music, they play it really well. I feel like I need a ukulele.
What you say about its company is what you say about society.
He sounds like a straight up vampire.
Catch the myth, catch the mystery, catch the drift.
Enjoyable.
That's fun.
I felt like we were taking a river cruise and that it was a theme night and that everybody had to be dressed up in a certain kind of theme in the ballroom.
Interesting. I was thinking ukulele on the beach. They were dressed formally.
Yeah, no. Like they have a big band vibe about them. But
Yeah, they're definitely the old-fashioned kind of sound. I forget what that genre is called, but the scoodly-doo-dee-da-ba-dee-ba-doo-doo. What's that from the 40s called? What is that kind of music called? Oh, the style of music I'm referring to is that. It's fun doing a different band, and I hope we all enjoyed it. Mostly, we've been doing Zeppelin. We have already ventured away from Zeppelin on our Patreon a little bit. Did you enjoy doing something different for a change, hon?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Look, doing the deep dive into Zeppelin has given me a very different and enhanced appreciation of music in general. Like it's a giant blanket now that is covering me in goodness. Now I want to know about all sorts of things. Whereas I just didn't have time or patience before. Like I love certain bands, but I didn't really deep dive.
And I'm enjoying this too because there's stuff I've always wanted to hear, or I wanted to give it a different listen or a more critical listen, and it's kind of forcing me to do that, so I'm enjoying that. Why do I feel like we're at the end of class and the teacher just called on us like, what did you learn today, Johnny? Quickly want to say thank you to our patrons because you guys are the best and you really help us out. We need support like that. We need more support like that. So if you'd like to go to our Patreon, at least check it out. There's extra videos there. Links right here. It's in the description. If you see a thanks button on any of our videos and you want to give us a one-time tip or donation, that's what the thanks button is for. Doesn't show up on all our videos for some reason, about half of them. No matter. Just go to another convenient video and click the thanks button. Any donation of $5 or more, we're going to recognize on our next video. I want to thank you guys for your comments. We love them. Most of them are very interesting. We read all the comments and we enjoy them. If you would like to share our videos as well, that can help.
More commentary.
Liking the videos helps, so that's appreciated. And you know what's really appreciated? What did I not say yet, hun?
Subscribe! Ring the bell.
Yes,
get alerts.
Yes.
Join premieres. Onward.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you for the next Rush song. And more Led Zeppelin down the road, too. Bye.
Bye, guys.